This is the video on operations in scientific notation. So you're going to multiply, you're going to divide, add and subtract with scientific notation and also with the correct significant figures. Let's start with examples. So here you have 2.8 times 10 to power 3, 3.01 times to 10 to power 4. So what happens when you multiply with scientific notation, you're going to multiply coefficients. So these are the coefficients, this one and this one, they are the coefficient, and these numbers here at the top, they are the exponents. So you multiply the coefficients and you add exponents when you are multiplying with scientific notation. So in your calculator, multiply 2.8 times 3.01 and you're going to get 8.428, and 3 plus 4 is 7. So this is correct scientific notation because you have only one non-zero digit to the left of the decimal. However, this is not correct significant figures. So this one, 2 and 8, this is two significant figures, and this one here, this is three significant figures. Three significant figures, this is two significant figures. Your answer, I'm going to leave the sticky note here in case you have forgotten significant figures. Your answer should have the same number of significant figure as in the number with the least number of significant figures. So 2 is lesser than 3. So you are going to round off here and you are going to get 8.4 times 10 to power 7. So this is your answer with correct significant figures. Now do the same thing, multiply the coefficients and you are going to get 12.096, and you are adding the exponents. Negative 4 and negative 7 will be negative 11. This is not the correct scientific notation. You're going to fix it by moving decimal to the left. And when you move the decimal to the left, you add. So here you're going to add to this exponent and it will be negative 10, because negative 11 plus 1 will give you negative 10, minus 10. Okay guys? So this is now correct scientific notation. Now we have to write in correct significant figures. This number here is 3 sig figs, 1, 2, 3, and this number here, it is 2 sig figs. This is 3 sig figs, so your answer cannot have more than 2 significant figures. So I'm going to, when I round off here, 1 and 2, next number is 0, so it is going to remain as 2. This is your answer and I'm going to leave it here. This is the same rule for multiplication and division. Now let's do work on division. When you divide the coefficients. You're going to divide both of them. This is your numerator and this is your denominator. Put them in the calculator and these are your exponents. You subtract the exponents. This is opposite of what you did in multiplication. So when you divide these numbers, both, this is numerator, this is denominator, you're going to get 8 times 10 to power. So this is 3 minus 4 will give you negative 1. Okay. This is correct scientific notation. However, this is not correct significant figures for this one. This number here is two significant figures. This one, two significant figures. And this one here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 significant figures. Alright, so my answer cannot have more than 2 significant figures. So I'm going to round off. This is 1, 2, 3 significant figures. So my answer cannot have more than 3 significant figures. I'm going to round off here. Okay, when I do that, I'm going to get 1.03, 10 to power negative 1. So this is my answer. Because the next number here is 2, that is why this 3 remains as 3. Do the same thing. Divide these two numbers. You are going to get 1.8. Now 9, you're subtracting them. So it will be 9 minus 4. And that is going to give you 13. Okay guys. So this is correct scientific notation. However, this is not done yet because the significant figures are not correct. This is one significant figure. This one here is 1 and 2, two significant figures. So my answer should not have more than one significant figure. That means I will have to round it off here. When I round it off here, this is going to become 2. This is my correct answer. Since this is 8, so it is going to round up. Okay, and this is the one significant figure. Goes with this one, right? So let's do the learning check. I want you to try this, and if you got these answers, this is what you got for solution, that's great. So I have everything done for you. I have shown how the decimal is moved. I have shown you that this is the correct scientific notation. This is final answer with correct sig fix. So all the steps are exactly the same that we did, and we are following the same rule for significant figures. For multiplication, you just go by the one with the least number of significant figure. Okay, all right. Now let's do this addition and subtraction. Here, this is a sticky note. Again, in case you have forgotten the significant figures with addition and subtraction. Here, instead of looking at the total number of significant figures, you look at the significant figures after the decimal for the number whichever has least decimal places. Okay, meaning on the right of the decimal. So when you are adding or subtracting, this is nothing like multiplication and division. Here you want to first make sure exponents must be the same. So if they are same, let's say, so here you have 4, this is 3. So your first job is to make both of these exponents same. If they were already same, if you had 3 here and 3 here, then you wouldn't have to do anything to those exponents. However, since they are different, your first job is to make them same. So you can either change this one into 3 or this one into 4. Now this is 4 and I want to turn it into 3, meaning I want to subtract one exponent. So if I move my decimal to the right, then it is going to subtract the exponent, and I'm going to get 10 raised to power 3. Okay, rest of the thing remains same. Now what do? This and this, you're going to put them in parentheses because you are adding them, and you don't do anything to the power. It just stays the same when you're adding and subtracting. Use the calculator. 43 plus 8.1, you're going to get 51.1 and 10 raised to power 3. Okay, so first let's fix the scientific notation. This decimal is going to move here. When you move your decimal to the left, now how are you going to write it? And also you're going to add, it will be 5.11 times 10 to power 4. Since you moved your decimal to the left, you add it to the exponent. Okay, so this is correct scientific notation. However, this is not correct significant figures. So when you add or subtract, so here let's look at our numbers. This one has no decimal place. All right, after 40, to the right of the decimal there is no number, so there is no decimal places with this. This one has one decimal place, one decimal value to the right of the decimal, and this one has none. So my answer should have no decimal value. Okay guys, so what am I going to do? That means I need to round it off here. When I round it off here, since my next number is 1, this is going to remain as 5. Okay, all right, so this is my answer with correct significant figures. All right, now let's do this one. This is 1 and this is 2. So if I have to make it 2, I'm going to move my decimal to the left. Okay, and when you move your decimal to the left, you add. So you're going to get 4.201 times 10 to power 2. Rest of the things remains the same. You're not making any changes to the right. Now this coefficient and this coefficient, you are going to add them. 4.201 minus 3.2. And you don't do anything to the coefficient. It remains the same. Don't do anything. Now use the calculator, subtract this, you are going to get 1.001, and here you have 10 raised to power 2. Now this is correct scientific notation. However, this is not correct significant figure for this problem. So look here, this one 3.2, this has one decimal place to the right of the decimal, and this one has 1, 2, 3 decimal places. So my answer should not have more than one decimal place to the right of the decimal. Okay, so when I do that, I'm going to get 1.0 times 10 to power 2. This is the final answer with the correct sig fig. Okay guys, now let's check. I want you guys to try and please check everything. I have each and every single thing. I have shown arrows, I have written everything, even little things with the notes, and I have highlighted everything. Okay, hope you get it. Thank you.